Hi everybody. This is a different kind of post. I've been looking around a lot of places on YouTube and so forth. I was diagnosed with a disease, and it's an autoimmune disease called endometriosis back in 2007 after having a minor implant put in and having excruciating pain, and they thought that the pain was due to the minor implant. Well, shortly we found out that after they removed the minor, the pain was just getting worse. So they had admitted me in the hospital with 3 days of IV antibiotics, and the pain still would not subside. And my doctor basically gave me an option. She said we can either send you home on, pain medication. If you still have pain, then you come back for surgery so we can see if it's this. Or since you're already in the hospital and you've been here for a few days, we could schedule surgery first thing in the morning and rule out what we think it may be. Now, mind you, I haven't had any kind of surgeries since I was 2 or 3 years old. I'm a military brat. I had my tonsils and admits taken out when I was very little, so I was scared to death. And that's putting it like minuscule. After the surgery, before I even was fully awake, the doctor came over to me and she said, "You have exactly what I thought you had." She's like, "You have endometriosis." And I said, "What is that?" And she kind of explained stuff to me, and she kind of gave me a piece of paper, but I wasn't fully awake yet. I was still coming out of anesthesia. And once I finally came to it, of course I was in the hospital, I was getting IV provided, even days after the surgery, because the pain just would not go away. That same doctor I would go to on a regular basis, and they tried anything from birth control pills to control my period to hormone pills, and then I ended up with not a deep vein thrombosis, but basically a blood clot in my leg. So that completely ruled out me being able to take any kind of birth control or any hormone drugs. Now, at that time, I was only 24, 25 years old when I got diagnosed. And I've had two vaginal births. And they said that's one thing that usually doesn't happen. And it usually happens with people who start the period at an early age, and you can't have children, and if you can, you're lucky. And I started my period I was like 12. My grandma was like 9 or 10. So I guess to a lot of people that is kind of early. And I had a child at 15. I mean, I had no problem getting pregnant. I could look at somebody and I could get pregnant. So it was a major surprise to me, at 25 years old, finding out I had this incurable cancer, but not cancer. And the doctor I was seeing said, I don't want to do any kind of hysterectomy on you. You're too young. I don't want you to blame me for you never being able to have children again. It was pretty hard. Within about a year and a half, I had to have another laparoscopic surgery, and then another one, and then I finally found a Dr. Charles Hazlett at Diamond's Women's Center here in Minnesota, and he no longer is a practicing physician for endometriosis. He's like retired or something. And we tried all kinds of things. I did the steroid injections. I've been on every kind of pain medication you can think of: fentanyl patches, morphine, Dilaudid, the steroid injections, like I said, the little pills, the big pills, like heavy duty meds, to where I've gone to the ER and I have basically been judged and said, you know, based on my prescriptions that I've had in the past, instead of me as a person, that I was a junkie, I was a druggie, that I was only there to get a pain pill fix, because they don't understand it. And when I got diagnosed back in 2007, there wasn't really any information out there for anything. And that doctor finally was like, okay, we'll do a partial hysterectomy. And so he left both of my ovaries out because he didn't want to put me in full-blown menopause. And by that time, within about 2.5 years, I was stage 4. So he had taken out, you know, my cervix and my uterus and so forth, but he left both of my ovaries. Well, not even a year later, I had to have an emergency oophorectomy to take out my left ovary because it was fused to my bladder, my bowels, and my abdomen. So, and then during my partial hysterectomy, they ended up using laparoscopic, they ended up using lasers throughout the surgery, they had fusion. And basically, he went through 2 abdominals, so I only have 1 abdominal on the left side. And long story short, I saw many surgeons. I went to the Mayo Clinic here in Minnesota, and they said, there's nothing we can do for you. It's just basically a cosmetic thing, the tear's too big. Sorry. Well, I went from being a pharmacy technician full-time and just had a child in 2006 in July, and I lost my job, I lost my health, I lost everything, because of endometriosis. It literally destroyed my life. In 2013, I still had my right ovary left. I still complained about pain. I was still being hospitalized for cyst rupturing, additional cysts on top of other cysts. Then wanting to give me it's not the Depo-Provera, it was the Depo-Uteron or something. And I completely refused that medication because of my blood clot. And then I've heard so many bad things about it. Basically puts you in the menopause like instantly. And I was like, no, this isn't going to happen. Well, in 2013, they did a pelvic, and my ovary was the size of a baseball. And when they went in to remove it, they put me in the medical menopause because it was still ridiculous how much pain I was in. You know, they took out everything, and I was still having what they called ghost pains. And I was going to several urgent care or pain clinics and so forth, and nobody could help me. Nothing would help me. Heating pads, 10 units, injections, pain medications, nothing took away the pain completely. And I wasn't having my period anymore. It was no longer period associated. So when they took out my last ovary, the doctor said, I got good news and I got bad news. What do you want to hear first? And I was like, I don't care. It's like, well, the bad news is you had ovarian cancer. But the good news is we caught it in time. It was more tumors than it was adhesions. That was very scary. That was around my 31st birthday. And to this day, I'm 33. I no longer have any parts, and I still have the same pain as if everything was still there. Even though I don't have my period, I was thrown in the menopause almost instantly in October of 2013. And now I found out that I am diagnosed with Graves' disease. But mine is like a rapid cycling where I go from Hashimoto's to Graves' disease, hyper and hypothyroidism. So not only do I have one 2, and I have a 9.5-year-old daughter. And I'm on Social Security disability from being a pharmacy technician. So I don't know if there's anybody else out there who has had a complete hysterectomy, who has gone to the ERs and has complained about pain, and they look at you like you're a junkie, that it's all in your head because it's been removed and there's no way possible it can still be in pain. If there's anybody else out there, please, leave me some comments. Let me know your story. Because every day it's the struggle. I'm sitting here with a heating pad on my skin. I live in the Minnesota area, and seriously, I just wish I had my livelihood back, and unfortunately, I'm just getting worse. I'm getting sicker and sicker, and nobody knows why. So, thank you for listening